Hello, makeup lovers. I'm Ray, and I know some of us have a tendency to buy more makeup and beauty products than we need. So how do we put a limit on that without taking away the fun experience of buying new makeup and beauty products, right? Because I live for that. I love my new makeup products. I don't want to not buy anything. I just want to make smarter purchases that I'm going to love. Today, I'm going to talk about the container concept and how we can use it to help us decide how much makeup it is okay to buy. I was introduced to the container concept by DANAK, and there's a wonderful video over on her YouTube channel that I will link in the description box. She uses a bunch of pens to demonstrate what she calls the container concept. She shows a bunch of pens and talks about how at her friend's house, her friend has, I'm going to use makeup brushes here, but her friend has, beautiful makeup brushes out on her vanity, right? Let's say. Whereas her makeup brushes don't fit into a pretty container. And you'll see she actually talks about in her video what a lot of times we do is when we have too many for our cute container, what we do, and I felt so seen when I watched her video, but what we do is this. Right? So we just get more and more containers to hold our more and more things. And what's funny in this example is that I've actually already gone through and chosen my favorites because those are the ones that live out on my vanity and the rest go back in there. But what I should do is decide ahead of time, this is how many containers I'm going to allow for my brushes. And once those containers are full, I should no longer be allowed to purchase new makeup brushes unless I get rid of some to create more space, right? So she talks about this idea of letting the container decide for us what we keep and what we don't. And I'm extending this to help decide what we purchase as well. We can use this idea of the container to decide, do we have room for the new thing, right? So with brushes, I need to consolidate, I need to go through, and I need to take out the ones that I no longer use and pass them on so that it's not adding to clutter. I need to decide exactly how much space I'm willing to give to makeup brushes, and that is my limit. I let the container decide. I let my space decide. So how can we use the container concept to help with our makeup and beauty purchases? I recommend that you actually think about more than just one container when you decide what makeup to be purchasing. You're, of course, first going to need to consider your space container. And what you want to keep in mind when you're thinking about your space container is not just how many brushes can you squeeze in, right? Like in this example, but how many comfortably fit. So like this is how many comfortably fit. I can't add more to this or I won't be able to find what I'm looking for anymore, right? So I need it to comfortably fit. I need it to look nice when I clean up. I need to have space for all of my things that I'm keeping. So I have my space container. And when I decide, do I need a new foundation? I need to take a look at where I store my foundations. Do I have room for another one? Is that going to make it hard to find the foundation I want each day? I need to limit myself based on my space. The other limiting factor that we need to consider is what I call the wallet container. All right, so you also have to stay within your budget. So it's really important that we sit down and decide a budget for our beauty purchases that we're comfortable with. Too many times we forget and we just buy what's on sale and we're not kind of thinking about how much we are comfortable spending. So I recommend that you decide a monthly amount that you're comfortable spending that fits within your budget and always check before you make a new purchase, do I have space for this item? So does it fit my space container? And do I have money for this item? Does it fit my wallet container? Right? And that's how you decide. If something fits into your space container, but not your wallet container, that's when you think about, oh, well, do I want to borrow from my next month's money? Do I want to hold out and wait for a sale? That type of thing. If it fits your wallet container and not your space container, then you need to be thinking, what can I upgrade? What would this upgrade? What can I get rid of or pass on to make way for the new exciting product? I also like to ask myself before I buy a new beauty product, am I really excited about this product, and will I still be excited about it in a month? And I try and challenge myself. Any new makeup item that I buy, I want to use it pretty much every day for the first couple of weeks, right? And I don't want to buy something that I'm not that excited to use, that I'm going to use it constantly and really get to know it in the first couple of weeks. I also always want to ask myself, do I already own something that serves the same exact purpose? And that doesn't necessarily mean that I won't buy two things that serve the same purpose. I do that a lot, actually. But it means at least I'm being very aware of it. So I'm not ending up with 5 lipsticks that are all the exact same color. I'm just being very aware that, yes, I just bought another red lipstick. I know that I have too many red lipsticks, but if they fit in the container space that I've allocated and it fits within my budget, then I'm allowed to have too many red lipsticks, and I shouldn't feel guilty about that. So that's the most important part of this, is when something does fit into your space container and your wallet container, go ahead and buy it guilt-free and enjoy it. I have stopped looking for sales because sales make us buy things that don't necessarily fit into our space container or our wallet container or into our lives right at that moment. So I'm trying not to be swayed by sales, but rather to make my decisions based on what I have room for and what I have the budget for. And in that way, I'm able to purchase only things that really excite me or things that I really need. And that's what my purchases should look like. I want all the things that really excite me and all the things that I genuinely need to feel confident and go out and live my life. So Mary and anyone else that might have this problem of buying too much beauty or skincare products, I hope these tips are helpful. Definitely recommend that you watch that container concept video if this idea of kind of stripping down and getting organized is something that you struggle with. It is something that I struggle with and that I am working very hard on now. I am trying to let go of as much as I can so that I can have and appreciate the very best things rather than being constantly overwhelmed by clutter, including when I'm sitting at my vanity with my makeup brushes and my makeup. So the next time you can't decide, let the containers make the choice. You don't have to. So I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Like, oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks good. You look gorgeous.